Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Actually, let me put my glasses on real fast. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. So, today we got a couple good things to look at. The market's actually looking pretty promising, looking like we're seeing some good setups for maybe some bigger moves. So, we're going to start taking a look at that, all right? There's a couple penny stocks we're going to touch on today. We also have a couple large cap stocks we'll look at today. That's really the game plan. Probably look at XSPA, look at SONN, which is on the screen right now, Apple, Roku, maybe a couple others. Good morning, and good morning to everybody. Okay, all right, good stuff. All right, so let's start here with SONN. So this is a popular stock this morning. A lot of people are looking at it. It's on a lot of people's watch list. You're probably seeing it on, some other YouTubers' page, maybe some Facebook pages, somewhere, Discord, someplace on the internet. This stock has been mentioned today. So here it is on our watch list today, simply for watching for right now. Right now, the stock is really high in its cycle. The momentum is sort of slowing down, you can argue. So right now, we are in the high side of the cycle. We're not on the buying side. So for now, it appears that coming to the open for SONN is it's going to be high in the cycle, which means you might be able to fire off another squeeze move, but ultimately your buy started down here at 740 this morning. You had an add here at about 9, and now you're into the selling target and selling zone. So more or less, you should really expect this to get sold into by the open. Maybe a quick move at the open and then get sold into, but there's really no desirable buy points right now until you're down to about $9.36 to $7.60. So I can't really argue to be a bull on this, at least for now. I think I just have to be a watcher on SONN for the time being. Okay. I did well with Works. No, I don't. Did I even trade Works yesterday? I know, no, we did trade it, didn't we? I don't know, but it did trade well. Well, okay. Oh no, we did. We started our first trade pre-market at the lowest point pre-market. If some of you guys held through that yesterday, you would have had a really good day. But I think we traded it maybe a couple times, if anything. I meant once or twice. But yeah, it was a good day. And stock had a really good day. I didn't expect it to have the day it had, but you get thrown curveballs every once in a while. All right, I'm also going to go over to XSPA. So this one I'm going to mention just because a lot of people have been watching it from yesterday. I traded it a little bit yesterday and a little bit pre-market today. So there was a good add long down here pre-market. We made it all the way to the first price target here. Now we're starting to roll over. So, arguably it doesn't have any bullish formation right now, but it's still in the lower side of the cycle. So even though we're selling down currently, you still have support at about 36 cents. So you can't have a really big bearish case on the day unless you really broke down, 36, and then you'll get a snap to the downside. So if you're long from yesterday, you've been holding, you're not going to see a big harsh sell-off unless you break about 36 cents to the downside on XSPA today. And if you start holding, you could very well reverse direction again. And as soon as you cross through this upward trend, you're going to get a push, and it'll probably take you up towards 47 cents on the day. And then you'll see some harsh selling coming in. So right now, you're just kind of middle of the road for XSPA. You're not really on resistance. You're not really on support. You're just kind of in the lower side of the channel for the day. So I would be neutral on this for the current time being. And if you've been holding it, you really don't have much to worry about for right now. Okay. MEIP, we'll touch on really quick just because I know some were watching it. So earlier, I got a couple questions surrounding the stock early in the morning, and I pretty much said it's a no-go for me. at the time, because at the time, why did I say that? Yeah, because at the time there was really no support. Let me do something else here. Yeah, at the time there was really no support, so you can see it's really just faded away since then. And so we also didn't really even try to hold this trend line. We kind of just sat here and moved under. So for right now, it's a little too soon to tell, but yeah, this is a gap and go setup where we've gapped up, we're trading sideways. So this does have the potential for a pretty good move. I'm going to pass on it. I think it's going to be more fakey and it's going to give me more of a hard time than anything. But what you'd be looking for if you're looking for the long move is I'm going to draw a trend line here. So what you're looking for is this to get bought up below your trend and then come up and break through and then squeeze up to about 364, just over the pre-market high by 30 cents. That would be the move that a lot of bullish traders are looking for, is a move through your regression trend, fire off a squeeze move up to about 364, which would be just over the pre-market high. So that's probably the bull case there for MEIP today. Not quite yet. The market's still moving too strong to the upside. We're starting to get bullish press releases in the world. But if it gets to about 300, 303, then yeah, you probably want to start considering being more short bias in the market. So look at, like I just said, the bullish traders are looking to cross this through the regression trend here, and then they want to fire off a squeeze move. That's their goal. And if I zoom in here, you can see, right? You'll see that candle is just kind of hanging on this trend that I drew out, sort of. So that's really the goal. Is you've pushed over. Now you want to see the candle closing over that trend. And then if you look at the volume here, right now we're at about a 50. We're still in a battle zone, right? The buyers haven't won over the sellers quite yet because you still have 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second, candle close. So there should be a new candle. And you'll see that mainly the buyers won over that candle for the time being. Doesn't mean that it can't sell down, but currently people are buying into this right now. And you can see because there's massive buy candle here of 60,000. You have another $60,000 buy candle here where, let's say, 60% of the volume was buying. So you just wait on it. But like I said, that's kind of the move that the bullish traders are looking for. Is they're looking to get over that trend and then fire off a move maybe towards 365 on the day. Okay. Now I'm going to hop over to Roku and we're going to take a look at Apple. Just briefly. Nonetheless, right now, or yesterday, Roku shot up to a strong resistance of 107. We broke that. So today you might see some bullish moves because of a 4-hour trend line that Roku crossed. That's pretty much it. So we're kind of watching Roku bullishly today with some optimism because we crossed that level. Just know that this 108, 107 level is a long-term trend sort of support. All right, Apple, very similar. So Apple is actually in the high side of its cycle right now, intraday. So it's really not in the most aggressive buying point. But the 4-hour chart, we started breaking up really nicely, and ultimately we're just starting to cross through longer term trends. We held, if you look at the right side of the screen here, yesterday we held perfectly on this 4-hour trend, so we're firing off. So I think we can see a long move, and maybe in the next week or so you're going to see Apple towards prices of 304 to 302 is very possible. Okay, so that's kind of what, or wait, hold on, let me redo that. I was looking at something incorrectly. Yeah, I mean, basically the 300 range is a very respectable a move that we could see Apple have. It's very possible. Because if the markets can move up to about 300, that's another, 20 points? What are we at? What's SPY at? What are we at? Oh, we're at about 280, right? So we go up to 300. Yeah, it's another 20-point move. 20-point move on the SPY. Well, let's think about it. Well, we could do this. If we run... Hold on. So if the SPY had to go up to 300, come on, let's go. So if the SPY moves at 300, we're at about 280. That's about 9%, right? So if the SPY goes up to about 300, that's almost another 10% up, which means Apple will probably move. Where are we at? 278. Which is right there. That would be about 8-9% to 303. So yeah, if the markets move up to about 300, you should probably expect you're going to see Apple up about another 8 to 9% here as well. So if the markets hit 300, you're probably going to see Apple close to 300 and 298, 302 zone. So anyways, we're going to be long outlook on Apple for now. Okay. I'd have to double check works. I want to answer a couple quick questions here. There are no quick questions. They're all analysis. So there is no quick response there. Well, what don't you understand about the moves Tesla's having? That, I guess, would be a better way of starting that off, right? Like, what is it that you're not understanding that might be confusing you, right? The SPY might have a bearish divergence on a 1-minute chart. I don't... Or you're saying, wait, 1-hour chart. I can look. No, you already had one. Yeah, if you're looking at this divergence, it already played out, right? Look at... You played out right there. You played that pullback, right? And now it would go from this low to that low, which are even. So there's equal momentum from this top to this top. So this is about evenly based. Not really divergence on there right now, at least. Tesla stock, yeah, that could be a long question, but like, why is Tesla asking for rent reduction as their stock is doing so well? Their stock really, well, it is doing well. Depends on how you look at it. They just came from $1,000, crashed to like 400. That's not really doing well, right? People vision Tesla as a future, which it very well probably will end up being a company of the future. Yeah, I really couldn't tell you every single in and out as to why Tesla's moved the way it has, but the number one reason Tesla would be moving as volatile as it is because it's a volatile stock. It has extremely high beta. It went from 1,000 to 400. So from 1,000 to 400 is $600. That means you have a $600 range. So from 1,000 to, like, what did it actually go to? I'm just blabbering here and I'm just guesstimating. But it had to go to like close to 400, right? Yeah, we went pretty much to we went to 350. So you crashed from, just call it 1,000 to just say 300. That's a 700-point crash. A 700-point crash can easily, respectfully have what do we say, 700 points. So we can easily have a 250 to a 300-point bounce. Easy, because that would just be a 50% retracement. So unless you've been trading and investing for a while, you wouldn't see this as a normal thing. But this is a very normal thing. You crash from 1,000 to 300. That's $700 difference. The respectable and average bounce would be 50%. So you've already bounced back up 70. Well, that's not as accurate, but so let's go from 939 to set 344. You're right at 650. So, right there, that's a 300 point bounce. So you basically bounced 50% of the way back up, right? So it's very respectable. It really is. No, the right time to buy Tesla was down here at 396. That was the right time to be buying Tesla. This was the right time to be buying Tesla. Now you're really just kind of an even. You're really just at a fair price now for the stock currently, based on trend. You're not oversold. You're not overbought. You're basically normal. Okay. Something like CCL is still extremely oversold. That's something that's in a low buying point, right? Something like DAL still in a very low buying point. These will take longer to recover. There's still pain with them. There's a little bit more uncertainty, but these are stocks that you'd really want to be aiming at if you're really looking for a good deal, something to hold long term that hasn't quite recovered yet. Okay. You can't. It's a custom code that I have, which right now is not available for the same lines that I have. So you pretty much have like major banks like JP Morgan and all of them calling for a bottom, which it isn't out of the realm of possibilities. No. The last time, well, not last time, but the last time we had a drop like this, we did in fact just basically recover all the way back to all-time highs. I'm sorry, but I just do not see us recovering all the way back to all-time highs. I don't think this is a bottom. I think it could be a short-term bottom, but I don't see this as a bottom. And there's many reasons why that would take me way too long to go through currently. I can, like, from this view, this is a weekly time frame. From this weekly time frame, we have all the way back up to 308 until we just get back to the regular trading trend of the S&P 500, which would be resistance. Mind you, that all kind of lines up, and if we look at different time frames, now if we go to a yearly time frame, right? If we go to a yearly time frame, our trend lines up at 303. Well, 303 lines up right in perfect with these previous tops. Let me just do something here. I'll show you. We're going to extend that to the right. Oh, we can't do that? Nah, whatever. So now I'm going to go back to like the 3-year chart. So on the daily time frame, our trend resistance lines up with the previous tops here, which in reality, all that really does for us is just cause it to perform a big head and shoulders pattern, if I'm correct, right? I mean, that's really just all that is will just be a big head and shoulders as we've crashed, and then we bounce back up to what, 306, 303, 300. That will line you right back in with trend. You'll be at trend resistance. You'll be at horizontal price action resistance. So I just can't see one swift move our markets go all the way back to all-time highs, okay? Now let's look at a 20-year chart. What time is it? 8:50. Let's look at a 20-year chart here. Okay, on a 20-year chart, this is something we pointed out for a lot of traders. Look at the divergence we had. So the divergence move already played out. We had this monster divergence that played out. All right, that's one. And then if we look at just a long-term picture, I've done this a couple times. Okay. And now, if we go from this sort of longer-term picture, you have back in 2008, financial crisis, that's the bottom 09 area, right? And then we go on this really big run. Well, Elliott wave is kind of a cycling, way of analyzing things on a cycle. So Elliott wave looks like a pyramid. It goes up one, down one, up another, down another, up another, and then you're going to end up having a top, and then it's going to be like this, and then boom, right? That's what it's going to have. Wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, wave 5, and then your corrective way A, B, C, okay? That was quick, I know. But if we are potentially in a really kind of like a longer term Elliott wave, okay? So we sort of broke out here, so I'm seeing 1, pull back 2, wave 3, pull back 4, wave 5, correction A, B, C. And that's going to put you, if I was right about everything and everything went perfect, I mean, there's an Elliott wave over the course of the past like 8-9 years, from your breaking out tops of your crisis to your bull run going through 2014 to your pullback correction in 2015 to your move from 15 to 17 to 18 for your pullback correction move in 18, wave 4, then your last bull run move of wave 5 in 2019, 2020, that puts you extremely high into the 20-year cycle, way overbought, correction move back down to trend, relief bounce, bull trap, back into a head and shoulders pattern, which is still extremely high in the cycle, back down for your true corrective wave into the lower 20-year trend, possibly. I mean, there's so many what ifs, but I would be buying the S&P 500. If it did that, I would be buying it down here. That's all I can say. So that's really what I'm watching. That's what we're watching myself. I think we can still be in a dead cat bounce scenario. Okay. If you're on Robinhood and you want to trade pre-market, you're going to need to upgrade your account to their gold or like silver edition or premium something. I think it's like $5 a month or $10 a month. They give you extra margin, and then they allow you to trade pre-market. But it's basically like a quid pro quo kind of ordeal, you know. So since everybody thinks, I don't know, whatever about quid pro quos is, I mean, it doesn't even matter. Like, any broker should allow you to trade pre-market is what I'm getting at. Like, they should not be saying, hey, spend $10 a month and then we'll let you trade pre-market. It's like, no, I should just be able to trade pre-market in general. So I don't agree with that side of it, but that's how you get pre-market trading on Robinhood. I don't actually follow any, I know as weird as it sounds, I hardly follow any news sites or pretty much anything to keep me up to date on stocks. And the reason being is because I pretty much make my own news. I know I hope it doesn't sound like an asshole thing to say, but it's true. I mean, I do this with you guys every day, so I am creating news myself and things that I see in the market from my experience. So I don't really, it's not often that I'm actively searching the internet for news on stocks. If I'm trading a stock, then I'll kind of peek at it and see what's been happening with it, you know, in the news on that stock. But I'm not looking at Market Watch. I don't go to FinViz to read articles. I'm not on Yahoo Finance to read articles. I'm not going to CNBC to read articles. I read some, but I don't specifically go to. Places that I do like to read for entertainment will be some from CNBC, some from Yahoo, some from Market Watch, you know, something from the New York Post, Washington Times, pretty much any big news outlet. Every once in a while I'll have a really appealing article to read. You know, sometimes I'll read, like on Seeking Alpha, you know, I'll read some guy's analysis on the volatility index, right? And those are just things that really just feed your brain. So yeah, I mean, you just need to play around with a couple different places and start to gravitate towards what entertains you, really, what you find attracting. That is so interesting that you said that you're talking about Michael Berry buying stocks of, buying shares of GameStop, because I just looked at GameStop for the first time in months, just for fun. Let's see what it's doing, and it's down a little bit from when I last seen it. And the first thing that came to mind was Michael Berry. I'm like, I wonder if he's still holding that position. And then the first thing that came to mind is probably not, honestly. He probably sold a lot of his position as it spiked. So, I mean, that's kind of old news. Just because Michael Berry bought shares doesn't mean that it's going to be the world's best stock in the world. I don't think GameStop has much of a future. Then again, I haven't looked into them as much recently as I used to. But no, I can't get behind GameStop myself. Tesla has a potential price target up to 678 today. Doesn't mean it's going to hit it, but there is a price target there. So if the markets, again, this is kind of a good way to approach trading. Tesla has a price target as high as 678 today. As a trader, we have no clue for sure if it's going to reach 678, but we do know that is a particular level that the markets do want to see Tesla at. So if we're lucky, the markets will move Tesla to 678, which would then be resistance, and so then you can treat as resistance. So maybe it gets there, maybe it doesn't, but 678 is also going to be a good resistance. So maybe it doesn't get there going long, but if it does get there, you're at a good starting point for a selling location. So you don't necessarily have to be long, you could also go short, right? So that's a lot about what the market is watching particular levels that the markets are going to want to try to move to, and then judging trades once they get there, essentially. It's not about chasing a move to a level, it's about being at the level when you take the trade and then hoping for the market to move it to your next level. And then somebody else will start to control that market and move it another way. And that's basically what you're doing all the time through the market, is you're basically just moving through markets. There's going to be a market for 20 minutes on Microsoft, and then it's going to shift into a bearish market for maybe 15 minutes. So there's always going to be someone somewhere to cause an opposing move or a different sort of move in the market. They're going to move the market, right? And you have to be able to move with the market, I guess is what I'm getting at. My price target could have been wrong. Hold on, let me relook at it. I think it was it 7? Did I say 678 or so? Yeah, I might have said that wrong. Hold on. I was just like looking from my memory this morning. Pre-mark. Oh, did I say? Yeah, so sorry, it's 7. It was as high as 750 to 778, 780. But you don't have a low risk long level until 667 currently, to a degree. Okay. Yeah, I just want to real quick just kind of go over the last couple things here. Is it C or is it S? I keep doing that. CONN. It's SONN. Okay, so SONN was high in the cycle. We're coming down to the trend, so it's on the bear side of the move, which means this is just more of a counter trend trade bounce usually. So that's really this is the most important thing to really watch for this morning, at least for now, is as soon as SONN breaks down this trend line, you're going to get a snap to the downside most likely. And you probably won't get too many people trying to buy in until it gets down to about $7.80 to $8 here, okay? So if this gets really aggressive, snaps really hard in the morning, you could very well see a down move basically to, $7, $8, and then you get a bounce, okay? MEIP. So MEIP, remember earlier we said it's going to try and get over here and do the pop. Well, it did, and then it faded this way. So that, to me, seems a little bit dangerous to really consider a big trade on, at least for now. Yesterday, I mentioned to you guys, I got to say this one last thing. Yesterday, I mentioned to you guys to follow BCRX, and it ended up being just the absolute shitbag of the day. I said to watch this long, and then look what happened. Oh, just terrible, right? There was a reason for it, and I haven't taught you guys a reason why we would watch a stock like that, but I will soon. So the reasons that we would have watched BCRX long yesterday are the same reasons you would watch MEIP long today. Don't have time to cover exactly why, but keep this one on watch long bias. Just know that your low risk long entry is going to be this lower trend line right here, okay? So for now, just keep this on watch. It's not promising when you see a flat kind of consolidation and then a push and then a fail. That's usually not a good sign. But in the future, I'll put up a video and tell you why we keep a close eye on particular stocks like MEIP and BCRX. Has nothing to do with the sector, has nothing to do with that they're this or that. There's something that most people don't ever think of, okay? Probably don't even know of, okay? So I'll have to make a video on that because it takes some time to discuss that topic. All right, everybody take care. Got to run. Have a good day. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. All right, everybody take care. Enjoy yourself.